Hello, welcome to Zeo Reviews. I'm your host, Zeospantera, host of In-Ear Fetish, another channel, second channel, another channel, the Zeospantera channel, which is the unboxing channel, and Z Cooks Consortium, which I occasionally post on, maybe not really. But check it out. This is a topping DM7. Let me really quickly explain to you what it is. It's an 8-channel DAC. The end. I will see you all in another video tomorrow, maybe. Okay, so here's what's going on. I didn't know how to review this. I had to get a second laptop because it's USB only, and I hate USB, and I'm not letting my old girl here, not her, but the laptop. No more drivers on that. It's just fiber optic only. This is called the DM7, and yet it is 8 channels. I'll show you the back, because you're not going to understand until I do that, and then I do this, and then I flip it up, and you're like, oh, that's just a bunch of headphone outs. Just a bunch of headphone jacks. See, I was linked to Rye cable. These are the Italian ones. They sent me a bunch of these. I told them to send me 2 of these. They only sent me 1, which means I only get to plug it in and use it as a balanced output into the JDS Labs EL2 balanced inputting amp with 1 channel. So yeah, you just have 8 quarter-inch outputs. They look like headphone jacks. They're not. What they actually are is this. Here's a cable. Here's a standard 3-pin XLR cable, and here is a standard 3-pole quarter-inch cable. These can do the same job. 1, 2, 3, ground. 1, 2, 3, well, no ground. But the point is, they're interchangeable. And a lot of the newer stuff, the topping stuff, certainly the JDS Lab stuff, here is a topping, the E50? You can see right here, it's a DAC, quarter-inch outputs. These are not for headphones. These are your balanced outputs, because the box is smaller. They wanted to fit. They couldn't fit these, so they put these. And actually, if you look, I brought out this. This is the L70. This is the amplifier. This has outputs here that are full XLRs, and it has RCAs, which are covered. But then if you look at the inputs, what's that you see? What's that? It looks like an XLR input. Oh, shit, it'll take a quarter-inch. TRS, tip, ring, S for don't sound with this. But yeah, so this is like the future of balance, and I'm okay with it. It's not the future, it's been around forever. It's just more convenient and smaller. So now that we know what these are doing and what cables like this, actually APOS sent me, these are their flow cables. They make flow quarter-inch. So I got that RI cable one, and I got the flow cable, and you can do things like that. See, it's like an old teleprompter at like when the lady was connecting John Wick to be, extradited, and it's plugging on the boards. Trigger in and out, 12-volt trigger in and out, USB, power, 8 outputs in the back, 8 waifus on the front. I had 1, and I'm like, wait, this sticker's got literally 7 more. And the front looks just like every other topping DAC that's ever been. So the DM7, you get your power, select, which is only 1 input. But you do get to pick all 8 channels and change the volume individually. Channel volume reset you can do as well. I think you have to hit that and say yes. You have to physically do, I don't think you could access this with the remote. You have to press that, and then you can navigate it. But you can't access this menu with the remote. So the remote, real quick, the remote's a standard remote. Most of these buttons are invalid, don't do anything. You only have 1 input, so there's no way to change inputs. Zeos, what the fuck is this box for? Why does it have 8? Well, it doesn't do the thing that I was hoping it would do, but that's fine because I've got a collaboration with Geshelli Labs. It's going to do the thing that I hope it will do with Geshelli Labs, so look out for that collab. And it's not really a collab, it's just I've been feeding them ideas for a year and a half and trying to make them make this thing, 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 please. And they're gonna, we're just not done yet. So we have to take a walk. Because this is, right now, it's playing, oh, I only have 1 channel plugged in because I only have 1 of these cables, so if I want to plug this other little short cable in, I have to do this. There we go. And now we got Mixed Smiley Ghostbusters. I believe in magic. Right now, this DAC has 2 channels, left and right. That's it. I told the laptop here, which is connected to it with USB, it's 2 channel. If you go to the Windows prompt and you go into the actual settings that you have, I always right click and then I go to sounds, which takes you directly to the old control panel, and then you can just switch over to playback. And you see topping DM7, you go to configure right there. Mono, stereo, quadraphonic, 5.1 surround, 7.1 surround. We're going back to the rant I had about surround sound, and I want to use my own DACs. And if you, I don't know if I want to get up or just point at things on the screen. So who remembers this thing? The Mini DSP UDI-08, which is currently running my big home theater. All that box was, can I get a picture of this box bigger that everyone could see, was USB in and this big honkin' mother chunker on the back. That was a ton of actual, it was an AES EBU 8-channel in, out, son of a bitch. Well, this thing had multiple DACs. 4 DACs, 4 coaxial digital outputs, essentially. The alternative, which I found later, is an RME Digiface USB digital audio interface with 4 optical outputs and inputs. So if we look at this thing, it actually has a headphone out, which is nice. Made in Germany. This is $550. The UDI-08 is $400. This is $550. And what this does is it literally hands you fucking 8 fiber optics. Every other one is output. And I ranted a long time ago on this channel at this very desk, and it was one of my most popular videos, how I want to do a surround sound where they give me the digital signal so that I can use my own fucking DAC to put up my own, and then it happened. It happened. I used the UDI-08 with the Mini DSP, and then Mini DSP hooked me up with the DDRC-88D, which is the controller, which takes the digital outputs from the computer, the 4, because the computer says you have 7.1, here you go. And then I was able to push it into that and then do all my controls, and all these things are getting digital inputs. So there's no analog to any of the speakers. It's analog directly to the digital here, and then it gets converted internally. So I'm like, I finally did it. I finally retained my goal. But what if I didn't want to use, because the problem with buying the UDI-08 or that $550 RME is you have to still provide DACs, because surround sound processors and receivers are usually pretty shitty as far as the DACs internally go. You get into like the $3,000 range, you really can't tell, but I still wanted to be in control. This box has 8-channel output, and if you set it as 8-channel, your computer will treat it as 8-channel. That shouldn't break too much. It might break something. Hold on. It definitely broke that. Is it going to play anymore? It may not play. But what this box would allow you to do for $600 is you could stick this on a computer. It has to be a computer. You could stick this box on a computer. You could tell it this is a 7.1 surround sound processor. And then you can use its analog outputs. And here's the thing. It's a fucking topping DAC. Someone pointed a bad topping DAC. Someone pointed a topping DAC that is absolutely terrible. You can't. D90, D90SC, no matter how much MQA, no MQA in this, by the way, if you're looking for a DAC. So it's clean as fuck. Like, they go through the standard complement of just like so fucking many measurements and things. Like, look, I don't even know what this is doing, but it's look pretty. Look at all these pretty colors. Ooh, spectrum graphs and shit. It's a clean DAC, all right? This will be cleaner than the DACs internally of any surround sound processor you can buy besides maybe a Lexicon, which are like $8,000, $9,000 and using like professional theater setups. Even then, I wouldn't even trust that. Like this is a dumb clean. It's clean. Okay, Zeos, now I've got 8 balanced clean outputs. Now what? Well, you set your computer that you have a 7.1. It'll be front right, front left. I believe the next channels would be center, subwoofer, and then side right, side left, surround right, surround left. There's your 7.1, because the 0.1 is a sub, it still counts as a full channel. They called it the DM7, it should have been the DM8. What that would allow you to do is to take this box, and I'm going to do this, because I'm going to play with this more. This review will be an incomplete review. I'm going to take this box, and I'm going to hook it up. Actually, I have it right over here. Although I think that's not balanced inputs, is it? You son of a bitch. I'm going to slide that a little bit. Slide it. Sorry if the colors are way off. Oh, I have an Emotiva. Yeah, these are only RCA inputs. But here's an RCA inputting 7-channel amplifier. So I just slap that on top of this. I don't believe I can down convert it to not be balanced, which kind of sucks. Although I can choose 4 or 5 volts in the menu. And then this would then power 7 speakers, and then I could run one to the subwoofer, which would be a pain in the ass too. It's a big boy. I love how it sits on the shelf like a book. But the point is, this would get you the ability to do a surround sound mix, pure DAC. It's a topping DAC. It's just 8R, what was the ESS chips? It's using the ES9038 Pro a bunch of times. I don't think it's doing like usually what you get, it's saying it has 1 DAC chip, but it doesn't have 1 DAC chip. It's got to have all of them. THD, 0.00009%. It's fucking silly. It's a silly clean. I don't know how to explain this to you to make you either. I just want to inform you of what you can do, get you excited, because I don't think anyone. If you buy it just for stereo, here you're done. You could use not the RI cable, really nice, flexible. Oh, it's such a nice wire. Please, RI cable, I got to get that other one from you. Let's plug in one of these again. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Here, it could just be a $600 basically topping D90. It's done. We're back at it like a crack addict, Mr. Black Magic. That's the lyrics from a song. Get over it. You could just use it as a 2-channel. You can set it in Windows as a 2-channel, or a 4-channel, or a 6-channel, or an 8-channel. If you're using it like this, that's fine. It's a little bit underperforming as far as what you can do. Getting it to do a surround sound, like a micro surround sound, like a little tiny, like very precise powered monitors, studio monitors. You could get bigger versions of this cable and plug this into a studio monitor and plug this into your 8-channel DAC and just be like, all right, channel, 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 center, subwoofer. There's really nothing else that can interface quite like this. With balanced output, that's another thing. A lot of the ones I've seen or played with, like the ones that I was talking about, the Mini DSP one and the RME one, those are digital outs, which is great because I used it for my thing and it was fantastic. This is giving you fully balanced outputs in analog already with individualized volume adjustments through the menu here. If I hold that, I think it goes away. Yeah, with individualized menu adjustments, and then you could do the whole thing up and down. It's a very, very, very peculiar home theater setup you'd have set up with this. You can't... The most useful thing for it to do would be to have it be left, right, out, left, right, out, left, right, out, left, right, out, all the same, and then you could run 4 different amplifiers. Again, working with Shell Labs is not a thing. Shh, distribution decks are going to be a thing. Why did you break? Don't break. No break. I don't know how else to... I'm excited for this, and I want to talk about it, but I can't show you it because it's going to take days for me in this house to go and set something up to use it, to demonstrate it. Because I'd have to bring it over to my little home theater space, the one in Little Narberth, and I have to hook it up. I have to buy the cables, first of all, buy or build the cables because I don't have it. Then I don't have an amplifier that can take XLR inputs. Like that many channels of XLR inputs. They're all RCA inputs. So I can't use them. I'd have to get new amps or use powered monitors and just have a ton of them all set up, XLR inputs. And then I'd probably need an XLR input on the subwoofer because I don't want to plug something in there and have it ground because RCAs are just 2 connectors, not 3, unless you're fucking with what's it called? The Codis tone board. Do you understand what this is? Because I sat there and I'm like, I guess I know what this thing can do. Like, I guess I know what I'd need 8 outputs for. It's just such a bitch to fucking actually integrate this into some sort of setup. Like, I'm trying to think if I want to, where would I put this just to temporarily set this up is a fucking nightmare. I only have so many adapters like this and actual plug-in adapters, which, where is this? There's plug-in adapters, oh, back here. They make this style. We're taking a walk. They make this style adapter where there's your 1/4 inch and there's your XLR, and it goes right into your regular XLR. And this is actually taking the output of the Own X8 Magic DAC and feeding that into that. So I'd need to buy, I don't even know if those would fit. Like, what's the point of having it be this small and then using adapters in all of it? The whole point is to have the wires be that way. I think I'm gonna have to buy a bunch of shit to really show this off. But I wanted to, it's been sitting on the desk there now. It's been sitting so long, I actually had to update the firmware. It went from 1.15 to 1.18, and they were talking about 1.17 manual. So I probably got this before it was even out. And now all I could do is talk about it in like some sort of fucking broken English. Like, you don't understand. You don't understand. I mean, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to unplug these for a second. By the way, COS KPH40 is the ultimate DAC test device. You hold down the power button, you flip the back switch on. It gives you the secret menu. That's how you get to the secret menu on toppings. So you have auto, which is auto on and off, and you have to choose between signal, trigger, or off. So I'm going to turn it to off, because, I mean, you could either have this thing turn on and off with signal, or on and off with the trigger inputs in the back, or not at all. The display, brightness, high is fine. The line out mode, you either get line out or DAC. You could set it to have full outputs, which would involve, that'd be fine if you were controlling the volume on your computer for whatever your output was, which is how you do it on the ones that are the UDI-08 and everything. This gives you the option to actually lower the analog voltage instead of digital, which is nice. But I'm going to leave it on. Then you go down, you have the 0 dB level is either 4 volt or 5 volt. PCM filters, we could switch between them. Again, I don't care. DSD filter, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess 1 is fine. Infrared receiver, you could actually turn off its ability to receive a remote control in case another remote control in your household fucks with it, because you do not want it to fuck with it. And then save and exit and factory reset. So it's save and exit. And then it restarts. I'm gonna use this thing. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make... My only problem, I'm gonna get to the real problem, the real crux of the situation. With my mini DSP theater over there, if I'm watching stereo content and it comes out of just stereo speakers, that's fine. If I'm watching dedicated surround sound content and it's got true HD 8 channels and I tell it is, it's fine because every channel knows what it's doing. What I like to do, and what this is going to be lacking and what software is lacking, unless someone can point me at the software that I could do this, is if you want to watch a stereo piece of media in surround sound, you really can't do it. With the mini DSP, I'm able to define like, hey, take the right channel and put it over here, and then add a little bit of delay, and then put this curve so it takes the vocals out of it, and I could fake a surround sound while watching stereo media. But every surround sound receiver on planet Earth, cheap $200 Yamahas and fucking broken Onkios, you put on your stereo TV content, Super Bowl or something, well, actually Super Bowl is probably broadcast in surround sound, but you put on 1980s cartoons, you hit a couple buttons, and it puts it in, you know, DTS cinema mode, or Dolby Cinema, Dolby Movie, Dolby Music, THX, and it will take the signal and it'll process it and give you surround sound. And this won't do that. With this, you are basically stuck with, I have stereo, I get 2 channels. I have 5.1 content, I get 5 channels. You can't expand to the 6th and 7th. Or I have surround sound and it's surround sound. But then you also, with this, there's no delays of the channel. You can't tell it the distance. You know, when you're playing with it with the measurement microphone and corrections. I'm sure you can get Room Equalization Wizard, Room Equalization Wizard, I said it again, to just sort of like fuck with it and do corrections. But that still isn't a surround sound processing application. That is just correcting channels individually one-off. It's certainly not as easy. This is a step into like, I want to be madness again. And I've already told people like, I love your surround sound, Zeos, I want to do it. And I tell them no, don't. For 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't want to help you with it. And number 2, Even if you get it working 100%, you have all these limitations. I'm actually enjoying the little fucking, the little Narberth where I do speaker reviews. That one with the Klipsch and the old Emotiva processor, the MC700 that has no good interface and lags and is stupid and I hate it. Still sounds amazing. This is interesting. I respect what it's going to do. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to spend a couple $100 probably on wires to make magical things happen. But at the same time, I don't know anyone who's going to do that shit with me. If you are, raise your hand. If you have a DM7 and you're planning on making a 8-channel individual output XLR surround sound that uses the pureness of the fucking topping DAC, and oh my God, I've never heard please let me know. Because that's what I did with my big theater, with swans and Klipsch and swans and more swans. Did I mention swans? And mini DSPs stacked on top of mini DSPs doing corrections and splitting in it. This is like a drug addict telling you not to do drugs. Because, yeah, it's great and fun, but please don't. I don't know what to tell you. The thing works great. These 2 channels come out fucking phenomenally. They fucked up by not making it a distribution DAC, but that's why Gishelli and I are working on the thing. So we'll talk about that in another review. It actually said I could talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. I want to show you the raw board because it's a whole it's not done. Yeah, okay, I guess the DM7 is great. I gave it I put 2 fucking stickers on it. Although I could have had 4 girls and said there were 8 channels, if you know what I mean. Actually, there's 8 here. It's the same girl 3 times, and one there's 8 eyes. They're beautiful eyes. Yeah, I'm done. Links to A-posts, Patreon, Subscribe Star for just... If you want to know more about this, if you're on there and well, if you message me if you put it in the comments, maybe $10 chat, and I'll probably see it more. Then okay, I need to stop talking now. Patreon, Subscribe Star, support this channel. See reviews early. Participate in yard sales 1st to the 10th of every month. Things I don't need. I'm keeping this to try to work with it. But there's other things that could end up like this. This doesn't even have a waifu on it. This still has a fucking high-res audio sticker. Like, here's sound demos. All sound demos are now private only for patrons and subscribers to our subscribers. And you could see them. I film them on the desk. And I could use whatever music I want because it's not on YouTube. $10 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where I will actually be able to, you could communicate. We're in a chat together. You can be like, hey, Zeos, look at this thing I got. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, give me a waifu sticker. I'm like, no. And then the conversation can go back and forth with the 200 people in there. So, and then those people get into a lifetime swap meet channel where they can buy, sell, and trade gear. So you want any more benefits? Check out Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forums. Thank you for clicking my sponsor link, whoever the hell they are. Thank you, sponsor in the future. Waifus in the future, that's in the Horde. If you don't know what that is, you have to get Resilio Sync, and it'll sync my wallpaper folder onto your hard drive, onto your desktop or wherever. And there's like 400 people in that cluster. So if I upload that wallpaper, which I did 40 minutes ago, everyone got it already. One person got it, then I sent to 2, and then 15, and it's great. It's a great bandwidth saver. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. We're done. I have to go now. One day I'll be able to show you something properly and completely without losing my goddamn fucking mind about it.